Hola, hoy vamos a hablar de los adverbios. Today we're talking about adverbs. An adverb, in its simplest definition, is a word that describes, and there are three things it can describe. Most often, we just think about verbs. It's there in the word, adverb. So an adverb is a word that describes a verb. But an adverb can also describe an adjective. And it can also describe another adverb. There are different kinds of adverbs. For example, we can use adverbs to describe how something happens, right? Su modo. We can use an adverb to describe when something happens, el tiempo en que ocurre. We can use them to describe where something occurs, okay, el lugar. Or we can use them to talk about how much of something there is, right? Or the cantidad. It is possible to take an adjective in Spanish and turn it into an adverb simply by adding on mente. Por ejemplo, if I take the word final, end, right? And I want to say finally, because in English we would add on li, right? And I want to say finally, all I'm going to do is take final and add on mente. That's it. Finalmente. If I have an adjective like tranquilo that ends in an O, first I'm going to change that O into an A. We want to have the feminine ending. And then I'm going to add on mente. So it becomes tranquilamente. See? Tranquilamente. And as I said, you can do this with basically any adjective. If you have an adjective that ends in an E, like amable, same as with those that ended in L, we're just going to add on mente. Amablemente. Kindly. Amablemente. A common adjective turned adverb is rápido. Now, rápido, because it ends in an O, just like tranquilo, first we're going to have to switch out that O for an A. And then we're going to add on mente. But rápidamente is special because you can also just say rápido. I could say corre rápidamente, or I can say corre muy rápido. That one is allowed. Other adjectives that we can use as adverbs as they are lento, duro, estupendo. I don't have to say estupendamente. You can. It's not wrong, but you don't have to. Another way that you can turn an adjective into an adverb is by putting a phrase in front of it. So I could say de, and then I could say de forma, or de manera, o de modo. And then after that phrase, I can put an adjective. So I used amable earlier, which is kind. I could say that me trató de forma muy amable. In addition to turning adjectives into adverbs, we can also turn a noun into an adverb by using a preposition. If I use the preposition con, or the preposition en, or the preposition por, followed by a noun, I can turn that noun into an adjective. Okay, so for example, I could say that caminó, ¿sí? La persona caminó con cuidado, with care, instead of cuidadosamente, carefully. They're both correct. Caminó con cuidado. So you can use a preposition followed by a noun, cuidado, care. Some words are just adverbs as they are. We don't have to do anything to them. If we look at this sentence, casi llegó a tiempo. She almost arrived on time. I have one verb, llegó, and then I have two words, one phrase, one word, that are describing llegó. I have casi and I have a tiempo. Both of these are adverbs because they're both describing when she arrived or how she arrived. Here's another example. Anoche llovió de repente. Last night it suddenly rained. Llovió is my verb. Anoche is describing when it rained. De repente is, in a way, describing how it rained. It was sudden. That would be the tiempo, de repente. If we take a look at this sentence, prácticamente, todos los estudiantes participaron con gusto. Once again, I have two adverbs, prácticamente. But notice, prácticamente is not describing my verb, which here is participaron. Prácticamente is describing todos, and todos is an adjective. Todos is an adjective describing the number of students. So prácticamente todos los estudiantes participaron con gusto. Con gusto is my other adverb, right? I have con with a noun, which is gusto, with pleasure. And con gusto is describing how they participated. Para concluir, and to review, we can create adverbios out of adjectives or out of nouns. And there are some adverbs that simply exist that we don't have to create out of something else. These adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs.